Hello, this is Atron Gregory, the producer of Solo Piano Group, here again with Michaela Overall. Michaela has a new song coming out this Friday called Calm. She has a song that came out about 10 days ago called Peace and Love. And it's our first song from the Solo Piano Group that's made it to a chart. We have a chart on this website called Submit Hub called Popularity Chart or Popular Chart. And your song has made it to number 15 out of 25 on the chart. And this is the first time all year, and we've been doing this for 6 or 7 months now, that any song is charted. So Michaela, congratulations.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. That's nice.
Yeah, so that's a little surprise I have for you. It was great seeing
Cool.
that. So and it's with all sorts of, it's with rap music, R&B, electronica. It's with all sorts of different types of music. So that's pretty exciting for us.
Okay. That
Um,
yeah.
so so today our interview, as I said, is going to be a little bit different. Just a little conversation about what's going on today, about what you're doing, and just kind of continually get through this time period we're in. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is just really, it's been 6 months now since this pandemic has hit, and I see you're out in a beautiful garden area, so that's great. I'm sure that's calming for you. But what have you been doing, and
Yes.
how's it been going since we last talked?
Things have been going well. Um, yeah, things are going well. I think what's helped is that I've had a chance to do a lot of different
We're
so
good.
sorry, I just received a phone call, but I declined it.
That's fine.
But yeah, I think I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to have a lot of different creative projects going on. So project with a solo piano group, some other projects with friends, and then I just recently started back school yesterday. So I've been busy, and I think that's been helpful, just sort of keeping my brain occupied with something, even though for the most part I'm spending a lot of time at home. But I think just having to look forward to things that are creative, I think that helps during this time.
Can you can you
Definitely.
can you share some of the projects you're doing with friends yet, or no?
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
No, I just said, can you share some of the projects that you're
Oh,
doing
okay.
with friends? Yeah.
Okay, yes. So I have a friend. He's been in a band. The band is named A Different World. And so one day they just asked me. They're doing a social distance jam session, and he asked, oh, "Hey, do you want to play keys?" And so I said, "Okay, sure." And so I came through, and they asked, "Hey, we would like if you played with us more often." So I said, "Sure, I'll do that." And so I've had the chance to play with them. That's the first band that I've ever played in. First time really playing with other musicians. A lot of the stuff that I do, it's solo repertoire, so I'm usually by myself. So that's just a different experience within itself, just playing with other people, and connecting musically with people just on a different level. So, and we've just had a chance to play really, really fun music.
Hmm.
And I'm just looking forward to what we do in the future.
Oh, nice. That sounds like it's fun, and it sounds like it's exciting. So that's good.
Yes.
And you guys are socially distanced.
We are socially distanced. Yes, we are socially distanced. We're also wearing masks.
Okay.
So we're making sure that we do everything to protect ourselves, as well as people that come out to listen, but also to when we are performing, it's also live streamed, so people are able to enjoy the performances from home if they don't quite feel comfortable with coming out. But the people who do come out and listen, it's really nice because we're at a storefront. So people are able to, sit out across the street and be, next to their family in their own enclosed spaces and listen to the music. So it's very much a socially distanced type of thing, but you can enjoy it on a multitude of different levels, either in person, socially distanced, or socially distanced from your home, just watching live stream.
Oh, nice. Please share that with us next time you guys do that. That'd be great.
Sure, yes.
So one of the things that's going on right now, obviously, is the election coming up. And they say that women voters, and especially African-American women voters, are one of the biggest voting blocs. What are you looking for to get? And I'm not asking you who you're voting for or anything like that, but what are you looking to get from the next candidate or the next president as far as your particular needs or your group's particular needs?
I would say at this point, I think the most pressing matter in the country as well as globally would be the COVID pandemic and just getting that taken care of and just coming in and cleaning up sort of the mess that has been made and just the fact that it wasn't addressed properly. And not only, taking care of what's in front of us right now, but also to considering how generations are going to be impacted once this is taken care of. So I think the communities that we have to worry about are people that are marginalized, so that is going to be African American women, um, women of Hispanic descent, and not just who are from marginalized backgrounds who don't have the means, the access, the education, the money to really, go forward with all of this. And so I think it's going to say a lot about the generations to come after this and just sort of the rollover effect that it's going to have. So for me, what I really want to see is a candidate who, yes, is addressing what's going on now and is going to come in and clean up and take care of the situation, but also to someone who is going to address the future. So making sure that, these kids, they have access to adequate education, because some kids are going to be falling behind in school, which is super unfortunate. And so I think, yeah, taking care of what's going on now, but then also considering the future, kind of looking ahead and saying, okay, how can we help people that are going to be negatively impacted by this on a multi-generational level?
Yeah.
And that's the main thing that I'm really looking for right now in a candidate, because I think that's the most pressing thing right now. And I think if you have a candidate who's addressing those things, then hopefully, some other things will be aligned with, will be aligned with just how they think and, their perspective on things, and also to creating continuity within the country.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's sad that there's a lot of division, and because there's been so much division, I think that's made things worse at this time. So I think it's important to try to bring people together.
Sure. No, I definitely agree with everything you said. You know, that this has nothing to do with necessarily what you said, but has something to do with COVID. Every summer I take a vacation, and I was supposed to go on vacation in July. I pushed it to, in June. I pushed it to July. I pushed it to August. Now I've just pushed it to next year, next summer. Hopefully that I can go, because where I go on vacation, they're not even letting us. I go to Hawaii every summer for almost 2 weeks.
Okay.
And they're not, and because it's
Okay.
almost 2 weeks, they're not even letting us into Hawaii. If you go to Hawaii right now, you have to quarantine for 14 days. So they're not even letting us in.
Yes.
So for me, when COVID is over, That's the first thing I'm doing. Or when COVID is, it'll never be over because it's a virus. So viruses aren't, the concept of
Yes,
over is kind of a weird concept because they're never really over.
that's
But
true. Hmm.
controlled, or whatever has to happen so we can move throughout our daily lives relatively comfortably. The first thing I'm going to do
Yes.
is get on a plane and go to Hawaii. That's very, very first, number one
Okay.
on top of, well, maybe
I,
second on my list. First on my list is get my family together, all of us get together and just hang out. And then that evening I'll be on a plane,
yeah.
or the next morning. So for you, what are you going to do? What do you what are you looking forward to doing once we have a little bit of normalcy back?
uh, that's so hard to say, and I know, just to piggyback on what you were saying, how you know it's going to take a long time for us to come out of this, and will we ever come out of this because of the fact that it is a virus? So recently I started to think about, well, if there is a vaccine, once you have that vaccine, then we have to go through the process of getting everyone, or getting it cleared to give it to people, to make sure that it's safe. And then after that, you have to try to give the vaccine to everyone. And how long is that going to take for everyone to get vaccinated? So we're going to be in this situation for a long time. But I haven't really thought about what I would do once everything goes back to normal. Um, I think before all of this happened, I really wanted to go to France because I've never been to France. I've never been to Paris, and I have such this interest of going. I don't know why or where it comes from, but hopefully, just like you, just having the chance to do a little bit more traveling.
One thing I wanted to know, we're just getting to know you, and hopefully we'll do a series of interviews with you as your music comes out. Um, what are, if there are three artists that you would love to work with, who would they be?
That's such a difficult question. Um, because I always think of like people that have passed, that I would, that if I had the chance to do something with, that that would be great. But to think of like anyone that's relevant in this day and age, um, I would have to go with probably Esperanza Spalding first. I love what she does, and I love the fact that um, she's just representing jazz, and she's just a face of jazz music, of new jazz music. I really appreciate that. And I think that she has her musical language, and which I really, really love. And what you listen to, she comes through it. So I respect that for her as a musician. And I know that she's really about her craft, which something else that I really appreciate and respect. Um, I think someone else, uh, probably D'Angelo, even though we kind of, sometimes we hear music from him, and sometimes he goes a few years and we don't hear anything from him. But I just love like where he's rooted from. He's rooted in the church. He's rooted in R&B. And he just has this sense of grit that really comes through in his music. And it's very real, and I like that. And so definitely D'Angelo. Um, let's see who else. It's a mix between. She's a completely different artist. Saint Vincent. She's actually a guitarist. And again, she's just someone who's just about her craft, about her instrument. I really appreciate and respect what she does musically. Then also, I recently discovered that Patrice Rushen, she has all this jazz instrumental music that she's recorded and performed, and I didn't know about this until maybe a month ago. I just, know her pop hits, which is crazy. So recently I've had a chance to just explore some of the jazz music that she's come out with, and I'm amazed. And so I just absolutely adore her. And I really, really, really love the fact that she's able to move seamlessly from jazz to pop to R&B. I think that's amazing, and I think very few artists are able to do that successfully. And so that's something that I really like about her.
Okay. So that's interesting. Esmeralda, I think, is teaching more now. I know she still performs,
Oh,
she still
okay.
does a record, but I've heard she's starting to teach more. Patrice teaches
Okay.
at USC. And so,
Yes.
you never know what we can figure out how to put together. So
Okay.
D'Angelo, I don't know much about. St. Vincent, I've heard of, but I don't know much about St. Vincent. Um, I've seen the
Well, I'm
name.
glad that you've heard her.
Yeah, I've seen the name, but I don't. Is she based in the United States or outside of the United States?
She's based in the United States. Yes.
Okay, all right. So yeah, but I'm not familiar with her music at all. So I will have to look at it. Um, so as we get to know you, this will maybe be our last question, and for me the funnest question of the day, because you and I look forward to the time you and I can sit down together. We started this journey during the pandemic, so we've actually never gotten a chance to sit together yet. So I look forward to that. But my last question for you today is, what would you like us to know about you that we don't know yet, that you feel comfortable sharing?
Uh, there's really not too much. Let's see. Well, this is something that I recently discovered. Um, I like to do home DIY projects, and that was something that I discovered, during the shelter in place. I got um a bookshelf that was, not too nice to look at. It was pretty ugly. I think if people saw it, they probably would have thrown away. And actually, when I found it, it was trash. And so, but I really needed a bookshelf. And so I painted it one color and then did some stenciling, and then just kind of brought it back to life and made something new. And I really enjoyed doing that. And I thought during this time it was very calming. It was just another way for me to sort of put creative energy in a different direction, that was, outside of music. So I really enjoyed doing that quite a bit. And I hope to do more projects like that in the future. And I think also too, just like, I guess, just doing hands-on things like that. I'm not much of a drawer. I can't really draw, but I like to do things where you're sort of like piecing things together, and editing, and maybe changing the color. So uh yeah,
Okay, nice.
I guess that's one thing that maybe not too many people know, and maybe something that I'm really sort of discovering that I like to do.
You'll have to send a picture of that bookcase.
Okay. I will do that. I was happy when friends and family, they were like, "Oh, this looks really nice." I was like, "Does it? Okay, good." It was a learning process. Like, I know if I do it again, oh, I'll do this instead of doing that. But I think it came out. I think it came out nice. Yeah, and I'll be sure to send you a picture.
Nice. Well, Michaela, thank you so much, as always, for this. And
Thank you.
congratulations on your song, Peace and Love, hitting that popular chart on Submit Hub.
Yes.
And we look forward to your song
Okay. Yes.
that's out, Calm. So thank you so much. And
Okay.
we'll see you next time.